Welcome to the podcast, Food Coma, sponsored by Key Spot. My name is Cynthia and I'm the host. And I have special guests here. We have Quinn and we have Kate.
Hello.
And they are very special to me, so I'm so grateful that you guys came on my podcast, my first one. So let me just share a little bit of the backstory. I am the owner of Quality SAP, which is the home of the Key Spot app. And I've always been someone who values diversity. So throughout my life, I value friendships, I value, other learning about different cultures. And I like food. So I got this great idea. It just came to me. I said, maybe I should do a podcast where I can combine my favorite things, people, and talking of different cultures and diversity, and I can eat. So I named it Food Coma, Conversations Over Meals in America. And the whole idea is to be able to bring people together. I know in this day and age we have so many struggles with people wanting to be divisive, and I think this is a great opportunity to celebrate diversity and friendships and hopefully encourage others to explore having friends outside of their normal base. So let's go ahead and get started. We can talk about the food. So what we currently have here, our dish for today, is actually two things. We have chicken a la king. So this is something that is special to me, and I'll share a little bit more about that. So let me take a taste.
It's good.
Yeah, it is good. Thank you, Cynthia. So that's something I whipped up. And then we also have something delicious. I love it. It's called pad thai.
Pad thai, yeah.
Let me try some of that. This is good stuff.
It has a kick to it.
Hopefully I'm not smacking in anybody's ears right now, but this is delicious. And it's not too spicy either.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a kick.
So Quinn, you want to tell us a little bit about, when did you first try pad thai?
I'm from Vietnam, so we have all sorts of different dishes, but this is from Thailand, and I tried it maybe about a year ago to 2 years ago when I was at one of my workplace, and we tried that, and I started liking it because it's just like a blend of my ethnicity, like what I cook, and then something a little bit different out of my zone, because I don't do, with the Vietnamese food, we don't do like pad thais, we don't do like the coloring of it. We have like pho, the noodles, and we have spring rolls. So I just like to try different things, and I like sushi. I just want all sorts, Japanese, Chinese, Thailand, anything.
Yes.
They're good to try.
Yeah, delicious.
They are.
I'm trying to think, when was the first time I had pad thai? It must have been years ago. Because as a child, my mom, she used to always bring home different food. So that's where I got, a good palate for trying things that are new and different. So I've always loved seafood. I've been, willing to try anything that was tasty.
Yeah.
So what about you, Kate? When was the first time you've had pad thai?
I'm trying to think. It's probably been a few years for me, too.
Yeah, 3 years.
I love all Asian food as well. This is excellent.
Yeah. So then I was going to go back to the story about chicken a la king. Growing up, my mom and dad, they both were cooks. They weren't chefs. They just cooked at home. And I didn't go to McDonald's. I didn't go to the fast food restaurants. We always ate at home. It was a special occasion, and whenever it was like a birthday, that's when we went out to Red Lobster. So that was our go-to place, going to Red Lobster to eat. But one of the dishes that my dad would make was chicken a la king. So this is like comfort food, I would say. Yeah. And so that's why I kind of made it, because I'm like, this is delicious and reminds me when I was a child.
This is so good.
Yeah.
It is very good. It's very simple to make. She was making it, and I was like, wow,
Are
we
these
can do this.
peppers?
Yeah.
So the
Where's the
basic
peppers?
ingredients is pimentos.
Oh, okay.
So I have rice, I have pimentos, and I have mushrooms, and of course you need the chicken. So you can either do like baked chicken or roasted chicken or rotisserie chicken, leftover chicken. So that's typically what I usually do with leftover chicken. And then I make the gravy have some butter and some flour, and then get that nice and brown, just a little bit brown, and then you throw in some milk, and then put in your seasonings, and then you dump in your mushrooms and pimentos with the juices. That gives it that extra flavor. So that's what makes it so tasty. So yeah, so this is a quick dish that's very, very good to eat.
It is.
Yeah.
In my house, we eat a lot of rice.
Oh,
So
yeah?
everything is rice based. So all meals, I always make one dish, a side dish, and then it's always rice. So when my kids are eating something that's not rice, they're like, we're missing something. We would go like to Longhorn and we'll get pizza. I mean, steaks.
Yeah.
And they're like, where's the rice, Mom? I'm like, there's no rice.
Like the rice is missing.
Yeah, it's weird just to eat a piece of meat and a potato without rice for us.
Yeah.
So that's all we do. We eat rice for every single meal.
And is that culturally why?
That's a cultural thing.
So what kind of rice do you use?
You can use jasmine rice.
Jasmine?
Mm-hmm. But
That's the highest quality, I guess. I've read that somewhere.
Jasmine, and also I buy the, it's a rice that you make sushi with because it's a lot softer and more plump. So it's not as dry as a jasmine. So my kids like that. That's why I buy them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's all
So
different
sushi
kind of
rice.
rice. Yeah, sushi rice.
So where do you buy it?
You can buy it at the Asian store, but then I've been finding them at Kroger too.
Oh, really?
Yep, you can find them at Kroger. They're called Botan, B-O-T-A-N, I think
Oh, I
it
haven't
is,
seen
the
that.
brand. Yeah, it's in the Asian area.
So Kate, tell us about you growing up. What was it like? What kind of food did you guys eat?
My mom is a very good cook.
Mhm.
I mean, same, with our family. We ate everything at the house, breakfast. In the morning, she would make eggs and bacon and
Oh, wow.
oatmeal, and it was before
Gourmet
school. It
meals,
was
huh?
a big deal. Yeah.
Mm.
Pancakes. I mean, we always had a nice breakfast, and for dinners, we always had something different and unique every night. She loved to cook, but it was
Yeah.
always healthy
Healthy
based
food.
and
Right.
all whole foods.
Yeah.
And then a dessert she would always make along with it, whether it was like an apple, bread,
Oh,
or
nice.
like a custard, or just whatever she had the
Yeah,
ingredients
that's
for.
nice.
She would make something. So that's where I got my sweet tooth from.
Ah.
You expect something, for dessert.
After
every
all that,
night,
it's like
so-
everything's missing.
Yeah. But it was always healthy ingredients. It wasn't like it was, high fat, high sugar. It was always like a healthy version of whatever dessert it was.
So did you pick up those habits of cooking? Are you a pretty good cook?
Well, not as good as her. I don't think I'll ever be able to
Top
to top her cooking, but I do a pretty good job. I took a lot of pride in my cooking.
I'm trying to think, have I ever had your food? Have you ever cooked?
I don't know if I have.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well,
Tonight
I
I
think...
made Cincinnati chili.
Oh, okay.
So before I went to work, I did ground turkey, and then kidney beans, and I use V8 juice as the base because it's a healthier for all the vitamins in it.
Right.
There's
That's a
that
good
spice
idea.
to it,
Ooh, that's
so-
a good tip.
Yeah, it's one of those big, just gallons of V8 juice, and you put that in, and the kidney beans, the turkey, I use a big thing of organic tomatoes, put that in, and then chocolate. That's actually one of the secrets of Cincinnati chili. Is you can put half of a little Hershey bar in, or dark
Oh,
chocolate,
wow.
whatever you have, and then sprinkle cinnamon on the top, and
That sounds
garlic and bay leaves, and then it just simmers all day, and it's really good.
Ooh.
And it's really healthy for you.
And what
It's
do
got,
they eat with that, with the Cincinnati chili? Is it like bread or anything on with it?
like oyster crackers,
Oyster crackers.
and cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
So it makes a nice meal.
You can eat it even with spaghetti noodles, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah, you
kids
can
do that.
too, yeah.
So are you guys born and raised in Ohio?
Mhm.
Where did you live? Where'd you grow up, Kate?
I grew up in White Oak.
White Oak?
White Oak.
Okay.
So it's the west side of town. It's a town closest to Cheviot, White Oak and Cheviot. Then you get into the real west side.
Oh,
area.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it like friend-wise growing up? I mean, did you have a lot of diversity in your friendships, or?
Well, I mean, at the time, I went to Catholic school, and I think we had maybe one Asian girl in the entire school,
Wow.
and that's all. That was really all. It was just, I think this is really before diversity became, in our area. That's
Yeah.
the
Right.
70s, 80s. It wasn't
Yeah.
really a big thing, at least where I lived, at least.
Right, right.
So
Yeah. So when did you decide, or when did you become like interested in meeting people who were of different backgrounds? Was it just a natural thing? You were just drawn to people because they're, oh, this person seems nice, or what was it?
I think it was my parents. We traveled a lot, so my dad worked for Procter & Gamble, and he traveled overseas, quite a bit. And then my uncle was stationed over in Germany, so we went to visit him a few times and went through all the countries, through Europe, and just seeing all of those cultures and experiencing the food and how different it is from the U.S. and just going through like different castles and just seeing the English countryside, and it's just so many different experiences. It just opens your eyes to that there's so much more to life than just your small little community.
Right.
It was just fascinating to me.
Yeah, isn't that great? So Quinn, what about you? Like, where were you born?
I was born in Saigon, Vietnam. I was 5 when we left. We left during the war. So we had to escape because we were getting invaded. So my parents said that we need to get to America somehow. So that's when I left, is when I was 5. We escaped on a boat. And it was just like all of us trying to get to America by boat. And so the food and everything there, water, is very limited. So mostly every day we were eating just plain rice.
Oh, wow.
Because there was really nothing there.
Right.
And then we got sponsorship from some people that are in Terre Haute, Indiana. They said, oh, they'll help us out, show us what's up, and donate clothes to us, help us out, whatever we can. They can. So we got from the boat. We got on a flight to Indiana, and that's where I was living my whole life there, in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Okay.
It was really different because you're kind of limited to what clothes or what you have. Whatever they provide, that's all we have.
Right.
And so we would go to school. I would be dressing like a boy.
Oh, because that's all
they had. Boy clothes.
Oh, wow.
And learning the language was
Oh
so hard. I was in kindergarten. I think I was held back because I was in kindergarten and I was trying to learn the alphabets, learning the numbers, and it was very difficult. So we got tutors to come into our house and tutor us every day just to pick up the language. But the language barrier is very hard when you're in school and kids
Oh
are
my gosh,
yeah. And I think about that time you were right. There wasn't a lot of Asians where I was either.
Right.
They're mostly all Americans.
Okay.
So when you walk into class and you're seeing all these Americans, they're all staring at you.
It's
You
gotta
don't
be
understand what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
At 5 o'clock, 5 years old, you just want to go and hide.
Oh,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad. It was.
How did the kids treat you?
Some were okay. Some were friendly, trying to help out. Some were
Right.
like making fun of you.
Yeah.
And you don't know what they're saying, but you know
Right.
they're laughing at you.
Right.
So you kind of pick up on the kids to stay away from.
Right.
But it was a long road just to learn the language and to live in the culture so much different from you. Because my parents in Vietnam, they're very strict.
Oh, okay.
And American people, they're not, depending on the family you're in, not
Yeah.
everybody is strict. So I have a lot of rules and regulations that I have to stick with my family. And when you're hanging with all these kids,
No
they
one
don't
else has the same
understand that.
rules that
They
you
don't
have.
understand
Yeah.
that.
Right,
No.
yeah.
They would be like laughing at you or saying they're not going to hang with you because you are not, you're not able to go out all night long.
Oh, right.
I have curfews.
Curfew.
I can't go to, my sisters can't go to prom. They can't go to dances. It's just, it's a lot, it's very different.
Yeah.
But then now we're fine. All of us we've all learned the language. We've all adapted. My parents did great. They had to work like 2 to 3 jobs to get us going. My dad's an engineer in GM. And so it's just a lot of changes going on. But we turned out just fine.
Yay!
We turned out just
Beautiful
fine.
family.
Are you less strict on your kids?
I
than your
am less
parents?
strict on my kids, but I am still very strict.
Yeah.
Like Victoria right now, she's staying home, and wherever she goes, she needs to let me know. I have a tractor. It's called the Live 360.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
So I track wherever she goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I track all my other two. It's just, now these days, it's even worse. You know what I mean? So you have to be more strict. And I don't care what they say, what other kids say to them. This is what you're supposed to do. But I
Right.
try not to be as strict as my parents.
Right.
Because I know now day and age, we all have to kind of lighten up, and the kids,
Yeah.
it's gotten worse, not better.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to let them.
Yeah, because you know
from
what's
the
going to
top.
happen. Before they get, time's going to fly by. They're going to turn 18. And if you're
Yeah.
so strict on them,
They're
going to
gonna go crazy.
Wow.
Right, exactly.
I think
Yeah.
that's what happened to
Everything.
me.
Do everything you said. No,
My
don't
parents
do
were strict.
that.
I
Yeah.
grew up in a strict family.
Did you
Yeah.
turn out, did you do a little crazy?
I was-
We went crazy. Didn't
That
we?
makes
Yeah.
I was.
That's
That
us.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. That's why we like to have so much fun.
Mhm.
We were all like
Very
for me, it wasn't the strictness. It was that I was studying engineering, and all I could do in college was study, study. So I didn't live any party life in college. So then I became an adult, and it's like,
You
hey,
do whatever you want.
let's go, let's go out.
It is.
So you're making up for last time.
I'm making up for lost time, time I did not have, and I'm still young. So speaking of that, so about what, 6 years ago, or 7 years ago or so, that's when we first
Is
met,
that when we
right?
met? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Something
I
like
so.
that.
Let's see.
It was 2000 and
I met Kate
11.
first because
Yeah, yeah,
our
yeah,
daughters
our
played
daughters
soccer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I don't know how many years ago that was. That has to be
Oh my
like
gosh, I think it
7
probably
or
was
8,
It probably was.
something like that.
Yeah.
And
They're
then
16, so
Yeah. So then maybe 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I met Quinn. But it's been so much fun. So kids soccer is what brought us together.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I think you guys were friends when I got on the team with both of you,
Right,
right?
yeah.
But we met through soccer too.
You guys met through soccer. Yeah.
2010 or 11, I think it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the interesting thing is, so my kids, my son joined the team, and there was a bunch of ladies who already knew each other, and I was kind of on the outs.
It's always hard, I know.
I guess the question is that what brought us all together to like build this bond, this friendship? What was it?
I don't know.
I think it's our personalities
Personalities,
naturally
yeah.
attract.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
like to
I
have
think-
fun, relax,
Yeah.
enjoy life.
What was the moment that we realized, oh my gosh, I could hang with you, or I could?
Yeah, when was that?
Probably one of the first tournaments.
I think
Whatever
so.
it
She was gone for that
probably-
one
The
tournament.
first one I was
Oh,
gone.
that's right.
Yeah.
So I
I
heard
think it
the
was after
stories.
that.
Chance to really-
Yes.
Yeah.
Soccer parents, they have a good time on tournaments. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
They have a good time. So I missed that one. But then the
Yeah.
second, I guess it was the second year, we had another tournament where
Yeah.
we were off somewhere, at a hotel. And parents were hanging out.
Mhm.
And of course, I'm like, hey, you like to dance? I like to dance.
I think that's
Is that
what
the
got us
One-Eyed
together
Jacks?
too. Is that One Eye Jacks?
Was the first one? Or
Oh,
the first
do
one?
we want to tell that story? Well, since you brought it up,
One Eye
we're going to
Jack
keep it PG.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So it was the second time around where I actually got to stay at the tournament. And ladies having a good time, other soccer people having a good time. We're doing like dance-offs and everything, bringing back the old school kid and play dances and everything, singing Ice Ice Baby and all
Yeah.
dancing on tables, I'm sure. And then, the hotel people are like, okay, party's over. It's like 10 o'clock or whatever.
No.
And we're like,
10 o'clock.
we're not done here. It's like, well, okay, so where are we going to go? What are we going to do? We have to continue this
That's right.
funness. So, since we were all hanging out and having a good time, we continued to stay close and say, hey, we heard about someone who was just coming in the hotel mentioned that there was a place right down the street, walking distance, called One-Eyed Jacks. And they were like, oh yeah, they're having a fun event. Fun event
But
happening
you should check it out.
that you guys should come to. And we're like, oh really? Okay, that sounds great. So we tell our husbands we're gonna go ahead and hang out a little bit longer. So it turns out Quinn's husband wants to come along with us, and we're good with that. He's a fun guy. But Kate's husband's like,
Because he was a coach, right? He couldn't go.
She's
Yeah,
no,
he was
but she's
coaching.
staying in. so me and Quinn,
But can I listen?
No.
we had to hatch a plan.
Yep.
We had to hatch a plan to
You
To
can
get-
get me.
Yeah.
well, to
we
get
did.
Kate to come, yeah.
We did.
So I think it was like, it took us 2 tries though. I think it took us 2
I think
tries.
it did.
So we went up to the room the first time. Kate was like, no guys, I'm sorry. I can't go. And we're like, okay, no.
Yeah, like,
I think, and then the second time, didn't we like knock on the door and we pretty much took
You
Kate
were
out the room.
determined.
Yeah,
You
we
were
were like,
determined.
no, this is like one time thing. You gotta come with us. So we got her out the room, and we
So worth it.
yes, yes. So we ended up going to this place, and we had such a good time. Not going into any details, but it was a good time. It was a good time.
Interesting things going on.
And yes,
Things we've
and we
never seen
always
before.
reminisce about One-Eyed Jacks.
we have a lot of experience on
Yes,
our road together.
and I think that was
It's crazy.
like the start of our wonderful friendship
That is.
and our many adventures together.
Yes,
They
yes.
are. Yes, lots
For
of
sure.
adventures together.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of adventures,
Uh-oh.
we've had so many. We could like do a book about it.
I know.
I guess our fun thing to do is we go to restaurants and then we go dancing and we do karaoke, and there's local places around here that we tend to, well, some of us tend to frequent more than others. I'll put it that way. When they know you by name, that means you've been there enough times.
Right.
Okay.
Who would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
All of us.
So, right. So let's talk about the one fun experience we had that we can't forget. Kate.
No.
Kate, what happened that night with the lady?
Line for the bathroom.
Yeah.
And she decided to take control. And
Who's
door-
the she?
the door was locked.
So somebody was at the door, right?
Well, the door was locked. We were
The
trying,
door was
we were
locked.
trying to get in.
Okay.
She was in line with
This
her.
person that was inside the bathroom was taking too long.
Okay.
And this girl she was like had a mafia type look to her, like an Italian mafia look. And she's like, I'm not having this. And she kicked the door down.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she's like, you're coming in with me.
Okay.
I'm like, thinking like, oh, okay, great. You know, just like friends thing, friends.
Wait,
with-
rewind.
yeah.
Okay, so let's just picture this moment, okay? Those who are listening. Okay. You are in line in the restroom. Someone is taking too long.
Right.
Another person behind you is upset about that and
Right.
busts the door in on the
Right.
person taking too long.
Yes, that's right.
In the meantime, this person's a stranger, talks to Kate and says, hey Kate, not even knowing her name, hey, why don't you come in with me? And then Kate's like, okay.
Nice
Okay,
enough.
continue.
So you knocking the door down for us.
Nice enough.
Yeah.
Oh my
As long as, go ahead.
As we're inside, now I'm thinking like, this looks really bad. Because now my friends are out there. I went into the
We're like, where's Kate?
bathroom.
Where's
private
Kate?
bathroom
Yeah, where's
with
Kate?
another girl, and then you don't do that. And the stories are going on now, but I'm stuck inside the bathroom now. I can't really get out. So I'm
And
like,
you're trying to be nice and
I was
polite
trying
so
to
you
be
don't make
nice.
the girl
I'm like, well,
mad.
you go ahead and get in the bathroom, and I'll just, I won't look. And then when you're done, I'll go.
Right.
And she was just, I don't know what she was talking
She
about.
must
but
have
she
been
was-
drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was fine.
Did she ask for your number afterwards? Okay.
No.
But that was
Anything could have happened.
But that was such an interesting. That shows how nice Kate is. She's so nice and
Oh,
polite.
thank you.
She is.
Okay.
Goes with the flow.
I know she goes with the flow, and that's why we have so many adventures.
I do go with the flow.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I like to have a good time.
Yes, she does. And these two are some of my closest friends. And I wrote a book called Yes You Can, 10 Great Ways to Market Your Business. And I just want to say how much support they have brought to me throughout my ventures.
course.
When I was working on KeySpot, mobile app, they were like, yeah, and they downloaded the app and everything. And I said, oh, I need to do a commercial.
Oh, God.
They were in the commercial. I'm like, oh, I'm doing a podcast. I'd like to get you guys. They're doing the
Here we go
podcast.
Go ahead.
So I love these two so much, and I'm so thankful to
too.
have
Love you.
them as my friends. So just wanted to say that.
That's so sweet.
Yes.
We feel the same way.
Yes. So, all right. What other adventures would we like to share?
Oh my gosh.
I'll share one adventure. Now, this one was kind of an awkward one. Now, I want to get you guys' take on this. Do you remember the time we were at, I don't want to say the name of the place, but we were at a restaurant slash bar slash they have live music. I'll put it that way.
A local.
Yeah, a local. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we were at this place, and we were just like doing girl stuff, dancing to the music that was playing and everything. We had some people approach us. Interesting thing. You guys notice every time we go somewhere, people we get people coming to us. Isn't
We
that
draw a
interesting?
crowd.
We do.
We do.
It
People
is
like our
very-
energy.
I
You
think
think
that's
that's what it
it.
is?
I
So
think that is
happy.
it.
We're so welcoming.
Well, maybe that's what it is. But we always
around
get
us.
somebody coming over to say
Yeah.
hi. But that's not a bad thing because it gives
It's
opportunity
interesting.
to
It
share and
is.
to learn.
Good.
So anyways, this was a great night to have sharing and learning. So it was us having fun, dancing to the music. Of course, people approached us and joined in our conversation. So we're talking. And the interesting thing is that one of the people happens to be a male, white male. He was like,
Happens to be.
happens to be, and I'm not a white female. I'm African American. So he happens to say, you know what? I've never talked to a black girl before. Do you guys
I
remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I remember
okay.
that.
Yes, yeah.
And the whole night,
He was so amazed.
Yes, the whole night. He was cheesing and he
Yeah.
was amazed. He was like, he wants to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I don't want to dance with you. I want to dance.
Yeah.
So anyways, and you guys, you heard him say that. What were your
It's
thoughts?
so funny.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think in this day and age,
You
how
should-
could that?
yeah.
How's that even possible?
Right.
That'd be
For
possible.
what?
I know. What?
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
just believe it. The interesting thing is, I guess for us, we value diversity and we're used to being around people of different backgrounds.
Mhm.
But there's so many people in the country who are either isolated or not having opportunities to be around people who are different from them.
Yeah.
So when they do get those opportunities, in some cases, especially when you're drinking, stuff comes out your mouth. Maybe
Right.
you might not normally say something just like that,
Yeah.
but just stuff comes out. And I've had one instance, of course, somebody was drinking. White male came up to me, and I had my hair curly, and he pulled my curls. He's like, "I love your curls."
Oh my God.
So I'm just
What was
saying,
that?
yes. So
gosh.
I'm just saying that it's very, and I don't mind conversation just to share
Mhm.
and to open up people to experiences, especially if they have not interacted with somebody different. So I don't take it as like, oh
Right.
no.
It can be like an innocent observation.
Right.
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh,
take it
understand.
like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, leave me, like
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I like to have the conversation just to kind of hear where they're from,
Right.
what their background is,
Yeah.
and maybe this is an opportunity to show them that, people who look like me that they see on TV might be different, because people
Yeah.
seem to have a perception,
Right.
They do.
and all they know is what they see,
Mhm.
unless they've experienced something that's been different. So when I do have interactions, then I have that opportunity to try to share something different to them that they might not necessarily know. So I thought that was an
That's a great
interesting
outlook. That's really
experience.
positive.
Yeah. So any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I guess I do have experiences like that too. Remember that one time we were at that local place and
Mhm.
we came in and there's this one other fella. He
Mhm.
was the only one there that was Asian.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
he
yeah.
was so amazed that I came in. He was so happy because it's one of his.
Yeah.
He came up, gave me high fives, say how you're doing.
And you
then-
didn't even know him,
And
did
then
you?
we had dance off because
did
he
you?
wants to be the good one.
Oh, that's so funny.
The better one.
Yeah.
But it is. I guess it's common
Yeah.
to the areas that we go to. It's
Right.
not as many different
It's
people
not as
like
diverse.
Asian
Mhm.
diverse.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
So yeah, I was just like, well, and the thing is, I don't see myself. So when I'm speaking, I'm so
You
used.
told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to
Yeah.
people around me being American,
Right.
Caucasians,
Yeah.
African Americans,
Yeah.
but not a lot of Asians.
Right.
So I put myself into their place
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I don't see myself. I can't see that I'm Asian.
Right.
The way I'm
Right,
talking on the
right.
phone, nobody can tell.
Right.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, I'll be like, "Oh gosh, I am Asian, aren't I?"
Yeah.
I need to get that back because sometimes I don't think that.
Yeah. Well, see, the
I
thing
don't
is,
think that.
I think people like you and myself who feel I feel like I'm Cynthia. I'm just me.
Yeah, me
right?
too, me
I'm
too.
not. And then when somebody, because I'm dancing to 80s music, 80s rock music, and I know the words, and somebody's like, "Man, you're a black girl, you know those words?" See, I'm like, yeah, I know music.
Yeah.
People are shocked when I know rock and roll songs.
Yeah.
Listen to all
Yes.
music.
But
Yes,
but
it's
Kate, I mean,
crazy.
what do you think about these situations? Does it surprise you when you see things like this? In your friend, and you're seeing it real time,
Right, it
with
opens
people
my eyes,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
things. I mean, especially not realizing what you go through.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
you don't think about it. It's when you're mainstream, you
Mhm.
don't,
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
see it happen, like, oh my gosh.
And you don't think of
I
us
wonder
like
how
that
they-
either.
Right.
I don't.
She knows
Yeah.
us.
But it's
Yeah.
like, I wonder how they feel when
Yeah.
someone says that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that is the wonderful thing about embracing diversity. You have the opportunity, if you're not in the skin of another person, you can see what they're going through. They could share these things with
Yes.
you.
Mhm.
And you can ask questions. And that's the other thing. I mean, I'm like, ask me questions. What things are you wanting to know that you're scared to talk to people who are different from you about?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's what conversation and friendship's all about. Talk to each other, ask questions. Yeah. All right. So, guys, I know we have gotten a lot of conversation in here. I think we're probably going to wrap up soon. Any last words you want to say? Like, what's been your experience on the podcast?
I think it's wonderful. I think it just opening these topics and issues up to other people in the world who may relate to them. I think it may inspire them and start a new trend in podcasting. I think it's becoming a big thing right now.
Right.
So I think it's all positive.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
What about you, Quinn? You've shared a lot. I'm sure some things that we never
You guys
knew
don't even
before.
know.
But I'm so thankful that you were able to share your
You're
background
welcome.
and
Well,
your experience.
I've never been doing this before. I've never even heard of podcasting very much.
Mhm.
Through my kids maybe.
Mhm.
But this is a nice experience.
Okay.
Just to be able to talk.
Yeah.
And we've talked all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So this is not any different, just a little bit camera But I think it's great.
Yeah.
So
So
we're able to talk it out and everything.
exactly. And again, it's like opening our eyes to a great thing we have.
Yeah.
We have a diverse friendship, and we're able to celebrate each other and love each other as friends.
And it's funny how diverse we are.
Yeah.
I is.
Yeah, it is great, and I treasure
is
that.
I do
So, yeah, and
I do
hopefully
too.
those who are listening to the podcast can hear that it's a genuine friendship and look to explore your opportunities to meet someone different from you. So I'm going to wrap up. Again, my name is Cynthia. I'm the owner of Quality SAP, home of the KeySpot app. Download KeySpot at keyspot.app.com. Check it out. And also, KeySpot is all about connecting communities, and that's what we're trying to do here with Food COMA. Conversations over meals in America. So make sure you share this podcast with your friends, loved ones, and everyone else so they can get a taste of how wonderful diversity is. All right, thank you all for joining. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my podcast. All right, take care. Have a great day. Bye.
Find your key to the spot and unlock big savings at Key Spot.